Well, I actually made it on this time. The other time I scheduled and I was like 12 hours off, but a lot of you still caught it. So, well, I'll wait till a few more people come here and then I'll begin. I really hate COVID though, because when they talk about what's really going on, it's pure propaganda. That's exactly what it is. So, okay, now I want to get into details. I think we have to run down some basics before I get into this. And the very first basic is the fact that they talk World War II with Germany and Japan, okay? They wanted to destabilize these countries back like in the 1900s because there is a very powerful global elite and they've been around a long time before America. Everyone thinks America 300 years. 300 years is nothing, okay? So the world is managed. And when things get out of control, they don't like it. So right after Germany got destabilized, right after Japan got destabilized, United States was the next in line, okay? And we were supposed to be destabilized, but if you look at some of my prior videos, you see that a whole bunch of people blew open the whole operation, and then they had to postpone it. That's why you didn't have a lot of this Marxism in the 50s, or even really much the 60s. It kicked up in the 70s. So for a long time, the global elite have been trying to destabilize America, and I've been negative about it, but I do try to put myself in their shoes and say, why are they trying to destabilize America? And now we see why. You see the greed we have. You see how 5% of the population, and we're using up all the world resources. We created 9/11. We had to steal all the oil or have all the oil pegged to our currency to keep us alive. I mean, they know where it's going. These people are damn smart. They know where it's going. So they've tried everything in the book with us. They took iodine out of our food and put fluoride in it, so it dropped our IQ 10. They ruined our education. They ruined our medical industry. They ruined all this stuff, okay? And now you got dumb fundamentalists that think, oh, this is good. This is, that we have to share this with the Muslim community in Africa, like some of these human rights organizations. And it's like, if I'm an intelligence agency, it's just like, we don't want mortars in our cities. We don't want bombs in our cities. That's hard power weapons. And we certainly don't want this shit that's getting dumped in your country on ours. We don't want weapons on our country. We're not dumb. It's weapons. So, the United States is trying to get destabilized. It is getting destabilized. And this goes into my Corona. What I said, and I've said all along, it was a third party that created Corona. Okay? They've had Corona all over the world, United States. We got factories everywhere making this shit. So what happened is they brought this virus to Wuhan. They knew exactly what the virus was. A third party released it, and there's two agendas of it, okay? The first agenda of Corona is to destabilize the United States, which they've tried to do since the 1920s, okay? They tried everything under the book, and all they did is they maneuvered around their Marxist operations, okay? They like that financial segregation, or they move. So they hit our big cities, and then a lot of people in California and New York, they started moving to the mountain states. So what I've been evaluating is they've hit the mountain states over the last 15 years. And now one of the last strongholds is you got like Tennessee, where Ben Shapiro moved down to. You have Texas and Florida. So they're trying to hammer that final spot. So they're trying to destabilize America. And it's a guarantee. Even Tucker Carlson, who's really intelligent. You might not like him, but he's intelligent. And he's not supposed to say this to his dumb conservative audience, but he said, they got us. There's no fixing us. We're going to get destabilized. It's corrupt to the core. And I guess the mindset I really want to give everyone out here is this. Okay, you're some really powerful owners of the planet. You're a group. You have trillions of dollars in all these assets, okay? You have China now and you have America. Which one would you rather manage? One where you got a bunch of Ashkenazi Jews using fifth column, corrupt medical industry, corrupt education, polluting people's brains, bribery, inequality. Could you imagine trying to manage America and keep it contained and under control? It'd be a goddamn nightmare. I mean, where would you even begin? Where would you begin? Now you go over to China. They've got rid of corruption. It's discipline. They work with countries. They're upfront with them, and they're like, okay, we will invest in your country. This is what we expect out of you, and this is what we'll do in return. We're not here to push our agendas on you. Look how much easier that is. So, the Cold War, what I'm saying is, with the United States and China, is they know that they're going this Chinese direction. This American direction, you just can't go. There's no fixing it. And everyone will tell you this. There's no fixing it. The United States will get destabilized. And let's look at Israel. Some people say, well, did the Jews create Corona? They didn't create Corona. But I'll tell you something. They were the first one to get the vaccines. And I've studied Benjamin Netanyahu, Likud Party. I've talked about Naftali Bennett long before he got elected. I've been following Israel really close. I know their mindset. I've talked to a lot of Jews. I've talked to IDF. I'm very familiar with Israel. And I'll tell you what the mindset of the Likud and Mossad was. Their intelligence went to Benjamin Netanyahu and the Likud right away. They're like, this was created in a lab. The goal of this virus is to destabilize Western economies, okay? It's not that deadly of a disease. We got to get this vaccine out right away. We got to keep our economy. And we have like a Silicon Valley. They have a called Wadi Valley or something. It's in Tel Aviv. And that was their main goal. They didn't give a shit about their population. Oh, we're going to hear, we care about Israeli citizens. No. They're like, we know what this is. Mossad, intelligent reports, yes. And if you pay attention to exactly what they did, their demeanor, the way they talked and the way they jumped on it, it points directly at that. So someone said, oh, is this weird guy going to come on here talk about conspiracy theories? What I'm saying, I think makes sense. And the more I look at it, the more sense it makes. That's what it is. It was an operation to destabilize the Western countries. Now, there's a second operation with it. Since they spread it in Wuhan, they went to China and they're like, okay, we're going to say it came from zoology and we're going to here protect you. They're trying to play this manipulation game with China. And what they want to do is blackmail China. And that's what they did, the global elites. They technically blackmailed China, which isn't a bad thing. And I'll tell you why. Because they know there's going to be this big power vacuum once the West gets destabilized. So they're going to blackmail China enough just to say, okay, we just want you to keep playing by these rules. We're going to be as fair as we can with you. Just play by these rules and everything's fine. So I know a lot of people, oh, this is so negative, and they blow out the Muslim community. Now they're releasing viruses. I'm very positive about the future, and I think you should be also. Because we're going into a future where there's accountability. No more corruption, no more special treatments. Even with Israel or the Jews, when they want to deal with China, they're not going to discriminate against them, but they're not going to like, we don't want to hear about your Holocaust or your alligator tears or anti-Semitism or victims or chosen people. Do fair business and fair practice with us. Don't destabilize our allies. Simple as that. If you can behave, things will be good. If you can't behave, we're not going to tolerate your shit. Simple as that. So we're heading into an era where things are more positive. Now, when they started the United States and they destabilized them, they really relied on a lot of these Ashkenazi Jews in the banking and Hollywood to kind of run their operations, okay? So they got thinking in their head, oh, yeah, we run the world and we're so smart in this. They were just a high-level manager proxy. And now, when they're finding out that these powerful international elites are sick of this operation in the West, and they just want to bring the goddamn thing down because it's corrupt to the core, and they're going to go this new, honest, direct Chinese method, they're pouting. And then you get these longtime liberals, even Dennis Prager. Do you know Dennis Prager, that always speaks against Muslims? He was a liberal. There's tons of liberals now. They're all, well, I'm conservative because I've been had because I thought my Ashkenazi Jew tribe was this powerful elite and we are going to control the planet and like do all this shit. And they're like, oh, we've been had. So yeah, these brain dead Christians that we've been running down into the ground for the last 80 years. Yeah, we need to try to rally these retards up and see if they can like counter China. And it's just like, now they're pouting. It's just like, these guys are hopeless. You're brain dead, you know? And you got these soldiers. So that's what's going on with Corona. The United States is going to get destabilized. China's going to rise up. They're going to blackmail China just enough to where they behave. And a third party did release it. But anyways, I be positive about the future. Things are changing. But pay attention to the things I've said, and things I do think it really adds up and makes sense. So, well, thanks a lot. I don't want to drag this on. And a couple hours from now, I am going to be doing my KGB interpretation of America's weakest points and where I would hit them if I was an intel officer in Moscow. So, thank you.